Small towns are not what you think they are. Hey there, this is Tom with Tom's Talk Show, and this is my new channel that I've set up just to kind of talk about things and bring to light some things, that I feel about politics, about pop culture, something that's on my mind, whatever news might be out there. And today, we're going to be talking about some photos that came about from a little place near where we used to live called Wheatland. And there's some kids who were there, and they decided to. You can see this blotted out photo of them. They decided to adorn themselves with, let's say, the bad side of Germany symbolism, and started posting that on social media, and it became found out, and then off you go. You can only do this so many times, right? Until somebody finds out and it's gone actually national. There are more things out there about it. They're trying to tie it to Trump, of course, but it has nothing to do with him because this has been going on for a very long time. So Wheatland, so if you're here, there's, your Sacramento, there's up here kind of where we used to live, up in this area called Yuba City. And then there's this little tiny town called Wheatland. So you can see here, this road, this is a 2-lane road, a big 4-lane, divided highway here. Then it comes down here, getting towards Wheatland, and it goes down to just a 2-lane road, kind of tools through Wheatland. And then as soon as it gets out of Wheatland, it comes back to a more 2-lane highway out here. So Wheatland is known for being a speed trap community. You go here, out of the front here, I think it's 65 miles an hour. Then you hit Wheatland and it drops to 35, and I think there's even a 25 mile an hour area. So it was just not. You tried to never go that way ever, because you've got to. And the police there were very regimented, and they would you were going 36 and a 35, so they're going to pull you over and stop you for that. But there were people that commuted through there, people that would work down here in the, Roseville, Surprise, Rockland area that would, the prices of houses down here in this area were kind of expensive. So they would live up in, Yuba City, or there's the other side of this is Marysville, but, and then they'd have to drive this 65 down, which was, they used to call it Blood Alley until they redid it. You can see here, this right here from Sheridan, there's a white line that goes down here, and that used to be the old route. And that was all 2-lane, and there were several times when people, one time someone actually dove, there was a logging truck coming towards them, and they actually dove across under the logging truck and committed suicide. So it's had a bad reputation for many years. But Wheatland, several decades ago, we lived in Yuba City, and knew a lot of people who went to school in Wheatland, knew a lot of parents who had their kids in Wheatland, and stuff. And back then, this is probably 20 years ago, there were problems, right? There were kids being harassed, kids being picked on. This is kind of odd, because you would think this right here is very close to this Beale Air Force Base. And Beale Air Force Base is people from everywhere, just trying to get through their deployment. Some great people that we met, a lot of people that lived out there at the Air Force Base, just great people there. But then now we have Wheatland that back then, they still had, there were still things going on back then. And you'd complain to the teachers and complain to the faculty and stuff, and no one would do anything. What would typically happen, I guess, would be you would make a complaint. The principal or whoever staff would bring in the people who were complaining about, the people doing the harassing, and say, "Are you doing this?" And they'd say, "No, we're not doing that." And then once you get out of the office, they like accelerate their harassment. So it's been going on for decades, right? This is just not, oh, we didn't know about it kind of thing. No, they've just been ignoring it for decades. And I guess there's several families that live there that are kind of, kind of fueling the whole thing. So it's not, this is just from what I've learned and everything from living near the area and being in the area and all that. So it's, it's really a further, it's a much bigger problem than you would think. Out here in this, it's a very, very rural town. There's this place here called Bishop's Pumpkin Farm that many people go to. It had little train rides and pumpkin hay rides and all that stuff that we used to go to all the time. And the high school is right next to that pumpkin farm. Right. So there's several articles and people are saying, commenting about it. Kids are saying they're tired of the exact same thing and getting away with it for a long time. And this has been going on for a long time. So they do have on Reddit, you can find some more photos that people have garnished from there. I'm not going to click on those because their faces are on there, but it's more than just one photo. This has been going on for a long time, but just now with social media. I mean, back 20 years ago, we didn't really have social media or anything, right? All you've got is, just barely even people taking pictures on their phones 20 years ago. And now it's going to be everywhere. But in this little rural town, there are a couple of families that kind of push this, and I was kind of doing some research on different people that were there, and I found a couple of people that link, I think some of them, this is my supposition, this is my thing, back to a death of one of the recent graduates of Yuba High, was hit by a car, I think, and shot and killed, I think, by some of these kids. All the records are sealed and stuff because the kids were underage. But that's potentially, where that came from, this group of kids, and stuff who are in this Wheatland area. So it's just very, some of these small towns, I mean, why aren't the, hasn't the faculty taken a better look at it? Why haven't they taken, okay, we keep getting complaints about this certain group of kids. Let's do something about it, find out what's going on. But no. So, they ask, that, kid says she did mention that nothing is being done. She's tired of the exact same people getting away with these things. So it kind of adds to the frustration. Yes, nothing being done. I mean, each kid that goes through there is only there for 4 years. And if you're happen to be a family with more than one kid, then you're going to see it for a little bit longer. But some kids are, 4 years and done. But if you've got one of these multi-generational families that is acting and allowing this kind of harassment and stuff for other kids, you need, the staff has been there for a long time. So why don't they understand what's going on and see what's going on? It's just another place where you got to watch where you put your kids in school. You as parents have to step up. You as parents have to be there. This is why the election was turned in Virginia, right? These are the reasons. So, Wheatland needs to, actually take some action here and do something, and maybe fire some teachers and fire some administrators who watched this and saw it happen and did nothing. Right? So if you're parents and you got kids, you got them in school, you need to go. You need to be at the, student teacher meetings. You need to be at the board meetings. You need to be everywhere for all those things and arrive. We had, my kid was growing up, and the one school that they were going to had schools getting special money to help the kids do better in school. Sent out a letter to all the parents. The only parents that showed up were the kids who were testing in the 95 and above percentile nationally, which was only like 3 or 4 kids at the time. All the rest of the kids, parents didn't care. So they were all testing in the 40 percentiles. So if you want your kid to do well, parents, you get yourself involved and you get yourself to these board meetings and you get yourself into these schools and find out what is going on. All right, just a little awareness. These things happen even in small towns, even in different parts of California that are more rural, right? That's supposed to be a little bit more, maybe a little bit more conservative, but that's a little overly whacked to the right. That's the far, far, far whacked right. Something that I have nothing to do with and want nothing to do with. Let's just keep it in the middle, folks. But yeah, pay attention, get to your school board meetings, get to your, all those parent-teacher meetings, all those things. Make sure you're there. Make sure you make your voices known. And if your kid, and make sure your kid knows that if they're being harassed or anything in any way, to come and tell you as a parent. And then you as a parent walk in and take care of this. You kids will say, well, you don't need to back me up. I'm almost an adult. It's like, well, there are things bigger than you as a kid here, and we need to make sure things get taken care of. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and make sure to be involved in your local kids' schools and school districts. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care.